Unexpected encounter. Dr. Samantha Chen squinted at the holographic display, her eyes straining in the dim light of the Starship Curiosity's observation deck. The vast emptiness of deep space stretched out before her, punctuated only by the distant twinkle of unfamiliar stars. After months of travel beyond the fringes of known space, the ship's sensors had finally detected something unusual, a gravitational anomaly that defied explanation. "Captain Reynolds, I think we found something," Samantha called out, her voice tinged with excitement and apprehension. Captain Jane Reynolds, a veteran of countless space expeditions, strode over to examine the readings. Her weathered face creased with concern as she studied the data. "What do you make of it, Dr. Chen?" Samantha ran a hand through her short, dark hair, her mind racing with possibilities. "It's like nothing we've ever encountered. The gravimetric readings suggest a massive object, but it's not registering on any other sensors. It's as if it's cloaked somehow." As if on cue, the ship's alarms blared to life. Red warning lights bathed the observation deck in an eerie glow. "Unidentified object decloaking off the port bow," shouted the tactical officer, his fingers flying over the control panel. The crew watched in awe as a massive ship materialized before them, its sleek, crystalline structure reflecting the light of distant stars. It dwarfed the Curiosity, making their state-of-the-art exploration vessel look like a toy in comparison. "Open a channel," Captain Reynolds ordered, her voice steady despite the tension in the air. "This is Captain Jane Reynolds of the Earth ship Curiosity. We come in peace and seek peaceful communication." For several agonizing moments, there was no response. Then, without warning, a beam of shimmering energy engulfed the Curiosity. Samantha felt a strange tingling sensation wash over her body, and the world around her began to fade. When Samantha's vision cleared, she found herself standing in a vast, circular chamber. The walls pulsed with an otherworldly bioluminescence, casting a soft, ethereal glow throughout the room. She was no longer alone. Captain Reynolds and a handful of other crew members stood nearby, looking just as disoriented as she felt. Before they could gather their wits, two figures entered the chamber. Samantha's scientific mind struggled to process what she was seeing. The beings before her were clearly not human, yet they possessed a beauty that took her breath away. The first alien was tall and slender, with iridescent, scale-like skin that shifted colors with each movement. Its large, almond-shaped eyes sparkled with intelligence and curiosity. 4 graceful arms extended from its torso, each ending in long, delicate fingers. The second being was stockier, its body covered in a short, velvety fur that rippled like grass in a gentle breeze. Its face was dominated by 2 large, compound eyes that reflected the room like living kaleidoscopes. A series of tentacle-like appendages sprouted from its head, twitching and curling with apparent emotion. Captain Reynolds stepped forward, her hand instinctively moving to where her sidearm would usually be. Finding herself unarmed, she straightened her posture and addressed the aliens. "I am Captain Jane Reynolds of Earth. We mean you no harm and wish to establish peaceful contact." The iridescent being tilted its head, and a melodic voice filled the chamber, seeming to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. "We are the Lumion. I am Zaragzul, emissary of the Starborn Concordat." The being gestured to its companion. "This is Grokthar of the Verdant Collective." Grokthar's tentacles rippled, and a deep, resonant voice rumbled through the air. "We have long awaited this moment. The emergence of your species into the galactic community has been foretold." Samantha couldn't contain her scientific curiosity any longer. She stepped forward, her eyes wide with wonder. "You knew we were coming. How is that possible? And how are we communicating so easily?" Zaragzul's skin shimmered with amusement. "Your language was simple to decipher from your transmissions. As for your arrival, the currents of time and space whisper many secrets to those who know how to listen." As the alien spoke, Samantha noticed something odd. Both Zaragzul and Grokthar seemed to be paying particular attention to her, their gazes lingering in a way that made her feel simultaneously flattered and uncomfortable. Captain Reynolds, ever the diplomat, pressed on. "We're honored to make your acquaintance. Our mission is one of peaceful exploration and scientific discovery. We hope to learn from you and share knowledge for the betterment of all our peoples." Grokthar's tentacles curled with what appeared to be excitement. "Yes, we have much to learn from each other. But first, we must address the matter of the Chosen One." The humans exchanged confused glances. "I'm sorry," Captain Reynolds said, "but I don't understand. What Chosen One?" Zeregzol's skin rippled with colors that seemed to express both joy and reverence. 4 graceful arms extended, pointing directly at Samantha. "Her. The one you call Dr. Samantha Chen. The prophecies spoke of a being from a young race, one whose very essence would bridge the gap between our peoples and usher in a new era of galactic harmony." Samantha felt the blood drain from her face as all eyes turned to her. What? There must be some mistake. I'm just a scientist, not some prophesied chosen one." Grokthar moved closer, its compound eyes reflecting Samantha's bewildered expression. "There is no mistake, Samantha Chen of Earth. Your arrival has set in motion events that will reshape the cosmos. You are to be our mate, the one who will unite our species and bring balance to the galactic order." Captain Reynolds stepped protectively in front of Samantha. "Now wait just a minute. You can't just claim one of my crew members based on some prophecy. Dr. Chen is a free individual with her own choices to make." Zeregzol's voice took on a soothing tone. "Of course, we understand the concept of free will. It is one of the qualities that makes your species so fascinating. We merely present the opportunity. The choice, as always, remains with Samantha." Samantha's mind reeled as she tried to process the situation. Here she was, billions of miles from Earth, being told that she was the subject of an alien prophecy and a potential mate to beings she had just met. It was like something out of a science fiction novel, yet it was happening to her. I need time to think about this," Samantha managed to stammer out. "This is all very sudden and, frankly, overwhelming." Zeregzol and Grokthar exchanged a look that seemed to convey both understanding and excitement. "Of course," Zeregzol said. "We have waited eons for this moment. We can certainly grant you time to acclimate to your destiny." Grokthar's tentacles waved in what appeared to be a gesture of agreement. "We shall prepare accommodations for you and your crew. You will be our honored guests while Samantha Chen contemplates her role in the grand tapestry of fate." As the aliens led them out of the chamber and into the wonders of their vast ship, Samantha's head spun with questions and possibilities. She had joined this mission to explore the unknown and make new discoveries, but never in her wildest dreams had she imagined anything like this. Little did Samantha know that her arrival had set in motion a chain of events that would not only change her life, but potentially alter the course of galactic history. As she followed her alien hosts, she couldn't shake the feeling that this was only the beginning of an adventure beyond her wildest imagination. Alien courtship, days passed aboard the massive alien vessel, each one bringing new wonders and challenges for Samantha and a crew of the Curiosity. The ship, which they learned was called the Nexus of Harmony, was a marvel of technology and biology working in perfect symbiosis. Living corridors shifted and changed to accommodate their needs, and every surface seemed alive with bioluminescent patterns that responded to their presence. Samantha found herself at the center of an unprecedented diplomatic and personal situation. Both Zeregzol of the Lumion and Grokthar of the Verdant Collective had begun what could only be described as an interstellar courtship ritual, each trying to win her favor in their own unique way. One morning, Samantha awoke to find her quarters transformed into a breathtaking replica of an alien forest. Grokthar's tentacles waved excitedly as it guided her through the holographic wonderland. "This is Verdant Prime, the heart of the Verdant Collective," Grokthar explained, its deep voice resonating with pride. "Our people live in harmony with nature, shaping it while being shaped by it in return." Samantha marveled at the towering trees with bioluminescent leaves and the strange, beautiful creatures that flitted between them. "It's incredible," she breathed. "The biodiversity here must be off the charts." Grokthar's compound eyes sparkled. Indeed, our scientists have spent millennia cataloging and nurturing every species. With you by my side, imagine the advancements we could make in xenobiology. Your human perspective could revolutionize our understanding of life itself. The offer was tempting. Samantha's scientific curiosity burned with the desire to explore this alien ecosystem. But before she could respond, a melodic chime filled the air, and the forest faded away, replaced by a swirling vortex of starlight. Zaragzul glided into the room, its iridescent skin shimmering with patterns that seemed to mirror the cosmic display around them. My apologies for the interruption, but I hope to show Samantha the wonders of Lumion astrocartography. With a graceful wave of its four arms, Zaragzul manipulated the starfield, zooming in on distant galaxies and nebulae. Our people have mapped the cosmos in ways your species has yet to dream of, Samantha. We have charted the currents of space-time and glimpsed the very edges of reality. Samantha's eyes widened as she took in the display. Entire galactic clusters moved and shifted before her eyes, revealing hidden connections and cosmic phenomena she had never imagined possible. With the Starborn Concordat, you could unlock the secrets of the universe, Zoraxol continued, its voice a soothing melody. Your human ingenuity, combined with our ancient knowledge, could propel both our species to new heights of understanding. As the two aliens presented their cases, Samantha felt a mix of excitement and trepidation. The opportunities before her were beyond anything she could have imagined, but the weight of the decision was enormous. Captain Reynolds, who had been observing the exchanges with a mix of fascination and concern, finally spoke up. While we appreciate the incredible hospitality and opportunities you're offering, I must remind everyone that Dr. Chen is a valued member of my crew. Her decisions affect not just herself, but potentially the future of human-alien relations. Zaragzul's skin rippled with acknowledgement. Of course, Captain. We understand the magnitude of this situation. Perhaps a demonstration of our technologies would help ease your concerns. Over the next few days, both the Lumion and the Verdant Collective showcased their most impressive achievements. Samantha and the Curiosity's crew witnessed medical techniques that could regenerate entire limbs, energy sources that could power civilizations for millennia, and faster-than-light travel systems that made their own seem primitive by comparison. But it wasn't just about technology. Both species also shared their art, music, and philosophy. Samantha found herself moved to tears by a Lumion harmonic orchestra that played colors as well as sounds. She laughed with genuine joy at the playful, shape-shifting theater performances of the Verdant Collective. As amazing as it all was, Samantha couldn't shake a growing sense of unease. During a rare moment alone with Captain Reynolds, she confided her concerns. Captain, everything they're showing us is incredible, but I can't help feeling like there's something they're not telling us. Why me? Why is this prophecy so important to them? Reynolds nodded, her brow furrowed in thought. I've been wondering the same thing, Doctor. The technology gap between us is staggering. They could have made contact with Earth at any time, yet they waited until now, until you. Their conversation was interrupted by an alert from the Curiosity. Lieutenant Commander Marcus, who had been maintaining communication with the Earth ship, rushed in with a worried expression. Captain, Doctor, we're picking up some strange readings. There's been a surge of activity in nearby sectors of space. It looks like news of our encounter is spreading, and fast. Reynolds' expression turned grim. Are we in danger? Marcus shook his head. Not immediately, but the Nexus of Harmony has increased its security protocols. I think our new alien friends are expecting company. As if on cue, Zeraxul and Grokthar entered the room, their usual composure slightly shaken. Samantha, Zeraxul began, its melodic voice tinged with urgency. We must accelerate our plans. The news of your arrival has spread faster than we anticipated. Other factions within the galactic community are interested in the prophecy. Grokthar's tentacles writhed with agitation. Some may not have peaceful intentions. We must ensure your safety and the fulfillment of your destiny. Samantha felt a chill run down her spine. What exactly does that mean? What aren't you telling us about this prophecy? The two aliens exchanged a look that spoke volumes. Finally, Zerugzol's skin dimmed slightly as it spoke. The prophecy speaks of more than just unity, Samantha. It foretells a great change, a shift in the balance of power in the galaxy. The Chosen One, you, are said to possess a unique quality, something inherent to humanity that could revolutionize our understanding of the cosmos. Grokthar continued, there are those who fear this change, and others who would seek to control it. Your safety, and the future of all our peoples, may depend on the choice you make. As the weight of their words settled over the room, alarms began to blare throughout the nexus of harmony. A voice, neither Zerugzol's nor Grokthar's, echoed through the chamber. Unidentified vessels approaching at superluminal speeds. All personnel, prepare for possible hostile engagement. Samantha looked at Captain Reynolds, then back at the aliens who had turned her life upside down. She realized that her decision now carried consequences far beyond her own future. The fate of Earth, of these alien species, and possibly the entire galaxy, now rested on her shoulders. As the Nexus of Harmony prepared for the arrival of unknown forces, Samantha Chen, a scientist from Earth who had only wanted to explore the cosmos, found herself at the center of a galactic storm. The true nature of her role in this cosmic drama was about to be revealed, and the consequences would reshape the very fabric of interstellar society. Galactic politics. The Nexus of Harmony hummed with nervous energy as the unidentified vessels dropped out of superluminal travel. Samantha, Captain Reynolds, and the alien leaders gathered in the ship's command center, watching as holographic displays flickered to life, showing the newcomers. 3 ships, each different in design and clearly representing distinct species, took up position around the Nexus. Their weapons were primed but not firing. A tense standoff. Zerugzol's skin rippled with concern as it addressed the group. We have incoming transmissions from all 3 vessels. It seems the Galactic Council has taken an interest in our situation. Captain Reynolds stepped forward, her voice firm. I think it's time we got some straight answers. Who exactly is this Galactic Council, and what do they want with Dr. Chen? Before either Zerugzol or Grokthar could respond, the holographic displays changed, showing 3 new alien faces, the leaders of the newly arrived ships. The first was a being that seemed to be made of pure energy, its form constantly shifting and pulsing. When it spoke, its voice crackled like static. I am Voltax of the Ethereal Collective. We demand to know why the prophecy has been activated without council approval. Next was a creature with multiple eyes and an exoskeleton that gleamed like polished metal. Its voice was a series of clicks and whirs, translated by the ship's systems. Hive Queen Exazareth of the Unity Swarm. The balance of power must be maintained. The human must be surrendered to neutral custody immediately. The third was the most humanoid of the group, though its skin was a deep purple and it had no visible mouth. Its thoughts projected directly into everyone's minds. Archon Zin of the Telepath's Conclave. We sense great potential and great danger. The prophecy must be examined thoroughly before any action is taken. Samantha felt overwhelmed by the sudden influx of alien presences, each radiating power and authority she could scarcely comprehend. She turned to Zerugzol and Grokthar, her voice trembling slightly. What aren't you telling me? What does this prophecy really mean? Grokthar's tentacles drooped in what seemed like shame. The prophecy speaks of a human with the ability to manipulate reality itself, a power that could reshape the very fabric of the cosmos. Zerugzol continued, its melodic voice somber. We believe that by guiding you, by having you choose one of our species as a mate, we could ensure this power was used wisely, for the benefit of all. Captain Reynolds' eyes widened in disbelief. Are you saying Dr. Chen has some sort of reality-altering superpower? Not exactly. Voltax's crackling voice interjected. The potential exists within her genetic code, a quirk of human evolution that, if properly harnessed, could lead to abilities beyond our current understanding. Hive Queen Exizarath's clicks grew more insistent, which is precisely why the human must be placed in neutral custody. No single faction can be trusted with such power. Samantha's mind reeled as she tried to process this information. She had always been scientifically gifted, but this was beyond anything she could have imagined. I don't understand. I've never experienced any reality-altering abilities. Archon Zin's mental voice was calm, almost soothing. The potential lies dormant within you, Dr. Chen. It would require specific circumstances and possibly years of training to manifest. But the mere possibility of such power is enough to destabilize the delicate balance of our galactic community. Captain Reynolds, ever the diplomat, saw an opportunity. Perhaps this is a chance for humanity to prove itself on the galactic stage. We may be a young species, but we have a long history of adapting to new challenges and mediating conflicts. The alien leaders paused, considering her words. Voltax's form pulsed thoughtfully. An intriguing proposition, but how can we trust that humanity won't abuse this power? Samantha, finding her voice and her courage, stepped forward. Because we understand the responsibility that comes with great power. Our history is filled with examples of scientific discoveries that could have destroyed us, but instead, we found ways to use them for the betterment of all. She took a deep breath, feeling the weight of her next words. I propose a compromise. I will agree to study this potential within me, but under the supervision of a joint council representing all your species, including humanity. We can work together to understand this ability and ensure it's used ethically. The room fell silent as the alien leaders considered her proposal. The tension was palpable, the fate of multiple civilizations hanging in the balance. Finally, Archon Zin broke the silence. Your wisdom belies your species, youth, Dr. Chen. The telepath's conclave agrees to this proposal. One by one, the other leaders voiced their agreement, albeit with some reservations. Even Zareksul and Grokthar, who had hoped to claim Samantha as their own, recognized the wisdom in her suggestion. As the details of the agreement were hammered out, Samantha felt a mix of relief and apprehension. She had averted an immediate crisis, but the path ahead was uncertain and fraught with challenges. Captain Reynolds placed a comforting hand on Samantha's shoulder. You've done well, Doctor. You may have just ushered in a new era of galactic cooperation. Samantha managed a small smile. Let's hope so, Captain. But something tells me our adventures are just beginning. Over the next few weeks, as the Nexus of Harmony made its way to the Galactic Council's neutral space station, Samantha worked tirelessly to establish the framework for her research and the Joint Oversight Committee. She pored over ancient texts and cutting-edge scientific theories from dozens of alien cultures, searching for clues about her latent abilities. The human crew of the Curiosity found themselves thrust into the role of diplomats, helping to bridge the cultural gaps between the various alien species. Their adaptability and resourcefulness impressed even the most skeptical members of the Galactic Council. As they approached the space station, a massive structure that dwarfed even the Nexus of Harmony, Samantha stood at the observation deck, gazing out at the star-filled expanse. Captain Reynolds joined her, both women contemplating the enormity of what lay ahead. Are you ready for this, Dr. Chen? Reynolds asked softly. Samantha took a deep breath, her eyes reflecting the starlight. I'm not sure anyone can be truly ready for something like this, Captain. But I know one thing. Humanity has always risen to meet great challenges. Whatever happens next, we'll face it together, and we'll show the galaxy what humans are truly capable of. As the Nexus of Harmony docked with the space station, Samantha squared her shoulders, ready to step into a role she never could have imagined. The next chapter of her journey, and potentially the future of the entire galaxy, was about to unfold. Trial by combat. The Galactic Council's space station was a marvel of engineering and diplomacy. Its vast, transparent domes housed representatives from hundreds of alien species, each bringing their own unique perspectives and agendas to the table. For weeks, Samantha had been at the center of intense negotiations, scientific discussions, and cultural exchanges. Despite the progress made, tensions remained high. Some factions, particularly those led by more militant species, were unsatisfied with the compromise. They argued that the potential power within Samantha was too great a risk to be left in the hands of an unproven species like humanity. On a particularly tense day, as Samantha was presenting her latest research findings to the council, an imposing figure burst into the chamber. It was K'Zoth, the warrior king of the Vothkai, a species known for their martial prowess and strict code of honor. K'Zoth's voice boomed through the chamber, causing several of the more sensitive species to recoil. Enough of this endless debate. Our ancestors had a way of settling such disputes, a trial by combat. The chamber erupted into chaos. Some council members voiced their support for the idea, while others protested vehemently. Captain Reynolds, who had been acting as humanity's diplomatic representative, stepped forward. With all due respect, K'Zoth, we're here to pursue peaceful solutions. Trial by combat seems archaic. K'Zoth's eyes narrowed. You humans claim to be worthy of this great power, yet you shy away from proving your strength. Perhaps you are as weak as some of us feared. Samantha, seeing the delicate diplomatic balance teetering on the edge of collapse, made a decision. She stood, her voice clear and determined. If trial by combat is what it takes to prove humanity's worth, then I accept the challenge. A hush fell over the chamber. Captain Reynolds looked at Samantha with a mix of pride and concern. Dr. Chen, are you sure about this? Samantha nodded, her eyes never leaving K'Zoth's imposing form. I am. But I have two conditions. First, this trial must test more than just physical strength. It should challenge our intellect, adaptability, and ethical decision-making as well. K'Zoth considered this for a moment, then nodded grudgingly. Agreed. And your second condition? I want the right to choose a champion from any species represented here, including my own. If we're to prove humanity's worth, let's also demonstrate our ability to forge alliances and inspire others to stand with us. The council members murmured among themselves, but eventually agreed to Samantha's terms. Zoth's lips curled into what might have been a smile or a snarl. Very well, human. You have 3 days to choose your champion and prepare. The trial will test body, mind, and spirit. May the strongest prevail. As the council adjourned, Samantha found herself surrounded by a mix of worried humans and curious aliens. Captain Reynolds pulled her aside, her voice low and urgent. That was a bold move, Doctor. But how do you plan to win this trial? We're up against species with strength and abilities far beyond our own. Samantha's eyes glinted with determination. By doing what humans do best, Captain, we'll innovate, adapt, and find a way to level the playing field. Over the next 3 days, Samantha threw herself into preparation. She pored over data on Vothkai physiology and combat techniques, studied the station's environmental systems, and consulted with experts from various species. On the eve of the trial, Samantha made her choice for champion. To everyone's surprise, she didn't choose a seasoned warrior or a powerful psychic. Instead, she selected Zix, a humble Memorphian engineer who had been helping maintain the station's systems. Zix was a small, unassuming creature with chenulaionic skin and multiple limbs. It looked at Samantha with its compound eyes, confusion evident in its posture. Me? But I am no warrior, Dr. Chen. I merely fix things. Samantha smiled. Exactly. And that's precisely why you're perfect for this. The day of the trial arrived. The station's largest chamber had been transformed into a multi-tiered arena. K'Zoth stood at its center, his massive frame rippling with muscle, various weapons strapped to his armor. As Samantha and Zix entered, a murmur ran through the crowd. Zoth's laughter echoed through the chamber. This is your champion, human. A mere maintenance drone. Samantha stepped forward, her voice steady. Size isn't everything. Kizoth. Zix represents the best of what sentient beings can be. Creative, adaptable, and always striving to make things better. The first challenge was a test of physical prowess. Kizoth easily outmatched Zix in raw strength, but the Memorphian's flexibility and quick thinking allowed it to hold its own. Using its knowledge of the station's layout, Zix led Kizoth on a chase through maintenance tunnels and air ducts, wearing down the larger warrior. The second challenge tested intellect. Here, Zix shone brightly, solving complex engineering problems and decoding alien languages with ease. Kizoth struggled, his warrior training ill-suited for such mental gymnastics. The final challenge was the most difficult, an ethical dilemma that required sacrificing one's own advantage for the greater good. Kizoth, bound by his strict warrior code, found himself unable to yield his position. Zix, however, demonstrated a nuanced understanding of the problem, finding a solution that benefited all parties at the cost of personal glory. As the trial concluded, the council chamber was abuzz with excited chatter. Kizoth, breathing heavily and looking somewhat humbled, approached Samantha and Zix. "You have surprised me, human," he rumbled. "Your champion fought with honor and wisdom. Perhaps there is more to your species than we first thought." Samantha extended her hand, a gesture of peace. "Thank you, Kizoth. This trial has shown that strength comes in many forms. Perhaps all of our species could learn from each other." As Kizoth clasped Samantha's hand, a cheer erupted from the assembled aliens. The trial had done more than just settle a dispute. It had opened eyes and minds to new possibilities. Archon Zin's mental voice resonated through the chamber. Dr. Chen and Zix have demonstrated the power of cooperation, adaptability, and ethical thinking. These are the qualities we should value as we move forward in our exploration of the potential within humanity. Voltax's energy form pulsed with agreement. Indeed, let this mark the beginning of a new era of galactic cooperation. As the council members congratulated Samantha and Zix, Captain Reynolds approached, a proud smile on her face. "Well done, Doctor. You've not only secured humanity's place in the galactic community, but also taught everyone here a valuable lesson." Samantha nodded, feeling a mix of exhaustion and exhilaration. "This is just the beginning, Captain. We have so much to learn from each other, and so much to discover about this potential within us." As the excitement of the trial faded, Samantha knew that the real work was just beginning. The path ahead would be challenging, but for the first time since this incredible journey began, she felt truly hopeful about the future, not just for herself or humanity, but for the entire galactic community. Humanity's triumph. In the months following the trial by combat, the Galactic Council's space station became a hub of unprecedented cooperation and scientific discovery. Samantha Chen found herself at the center of it all, leading a diverse team of researchers from across the galaxy in the study of her unique genetic potential. The laboratory they had set up was a marvel of interdimensional engineering, with equipment and technology from dozens of alien civilizations working in harmony. On this particular day, Samantha stood before a holographic display, explaining her latest findings to a rapt audience of scientists, diplomats, and curious observers. "As you can see," Samantha said, manipulating the 3D model of a DNA strand with practiced ease, "the gene sequence we've identified doesn't just alter reality. It allows for a deeper understanding and interaction with the fundamental forces that shape our universe." Zerexol, who had become one of Samantha's closest alien confidants, tilted its iridescent head. "Fascinating. So it's not about changing reality, but rather perceiving and influencing it on a quantum level." Samantha nodded, her eyes shining with excitement. "Exactly. And the implications are staggering. This could revolutionize everything from space travel to energy production to healing." As the discussion delved deeper into the scientific implications, Captain Reynolds watched from the back of the room, a proud smile on her face. The crew of the Curiosity had long since been relieved by official Earth diplomats, but Reynolds had chosen to stay on as humanity's military liaison. Grokthar, who had taken a keen interest in human culture, sidled up to the captain. "Your Dr. Chen continues to impress, Captain Reynolds. We were not wrong about her potential." Reynolds nodded. "Samantha's brilliant, no doubt about that. But what impresses me most is how she's brought everyone together. Look around this room. Species that were at each other's throats a few months ago are now working side by side." Indeed, the laboratory was a testament to interspecies cooperation. The Unity Swarm's hive mind provided unparalleled data processing capabilities, while the ethereal collective's energy beings helped visualize abstract quantum concepts. Even Kizoth and his Vothkai warriors had found a place, their disciplined minds proving adept at maintaining focus during delicate experiments. As the presentation concluded, Arkshin Zin's mental voice resonated through the chamber. "Dr. Chen, your work continues to exceed our expectations, but I sense there's more you wish to share with us." Samantha took a deep breath, her expression growing serious. "You're right, Arkshin. We've made incredible progress in understanding this genetic potential, but I believe it's time we took the next step. I'm proposing a practical test of our theories." A hush fell over the room. Voltax's energy form crackled with concern. "A test? But the risks are considerable." "Yes," Samantha finished, "but so are the potential benefits. We've theorized that this ability could be used to stabilize spatial anomalies, potentially creating safe corridors through some of the most dangerous parts of the galaxy." She pulled up a new holographic display, showing a treacherous region of space known as the Maelstrom, a swirling vortex of gravimetric distortions that had claimed countless ships over the millennia. "I propose we mount an expedition to the Maelstrom. If we can successfully navigate and potentially stabilize even a small part of it, we'll open up new trade routes and exploration opportunities for all our peoples." The room erupted into a flurry of excited and concerned chatter. Captain Reynolds stepped forward, her voice cutting through the noise. "It's a bold plan, Doctor, but how can we ensure everyone's safety?" Samantha smiled. "By doing what we do best, working together. Each of our species has unique strengths and technologies. Combined, I believe we can face any challenge the Maelstrom throws at us." Over the next few weeks, preparations for the Maelstrom expedition became the station's primary focus. A ship was specially constructed, incorporating the best technologies from each participating species. The Vothkai provided advanced shield systems, the Lumion contributed their unparalleled navigation computers, and the Verdant Collective supplied bioadaptive hull materials. As the day of launch approached, Samantha found herself standing before the Galactic Council one last time. The chamber was packed, with representatives from hundreds of worlds in attendance, both in person and via holographic projections. Arkshin Zin's mental voice was solemn. "Dr. Samantha Chen, you and your team stand on the brink of a journey that could reshape our understanding of the universe. Do you fully understand the gravity of what you're about to attempt?" Samantha stood tall, her voice clear and confident. "I do, Arkshin, but I also understand the incredible opportunity before us. This expedition isn't just about testing a genetic ability or opening new trade routes. It's about proving that when we work together, when we combine our knowledge and strengths, we can achieve the impossible." She looked around the chamber, making eye contact with humans and aliens alike. Every species represented here has something unique to offer. Together, we're not just exploring the Maelstrom. We're charting a course for a future of true galactic cooperation. A wave of approval rippled through the assembled beings. Even the usually stoic Kizoth nodded in respect. As Samantha and her diverse crew boarded their ship, christened the Unity, Captain Reynolds approached for a final farewell. "You've come a long way from that scientist I first met on the Curiosity, Dr. Chen," Reynolds said, her voice thick with emotion. "You've made humanity proud." Samantha embraced her former captain. "Thank you, Jane, for everything. We wouldn't be here without your leadership and diplomacy." As the Unity lifted off, watched by billions of beings across the galaxy, Samantha took her place on the bridge. Around her stood representatives from a dozen different species, each ready to play their part in the challenges ahead. All systems ready, Dr. Chen. Zix reported from the engineering station, its chameleonic skin shimmering with excitement. Samantha nodded, a smile playing on her lips. Then let's make history. Set course for the maelstrom. As the Unity accelerated towards its destiny, Samantha felt a sense of peace wash over her. The journey ahead would be perilous, the challenges immense. But she knew that whatever they faced, they would face it together. Humans and aliens united in the greatest adventure the galaxy had ever seen. The story of humanity's first steps into a larger, more complex galactic community was just beginning. And Samantha Chen, once a simple scientist from Earth, now stood at the forefront of a new era of exploration, cooperation, and discovery. The universe, with all its wonders and dangers, awaited. As the Unity disappeared into the swirling depths of the maelstrom, a new chapter in galactic history began, one that would be studied, debated, and celebrated for generations to come.